Hello. This is Mary, one of our Fresh Life entrepreneurs providing hygienic sanitation for her community while earning 1,500 euros in profit per year, which she uses to support her family. At Sanergy, we build healthy and prosperous communities, making hygienic sanitation affordable and accessible for everyone, forever. I work in Kenya's slums, where 8 million people resort to open defecation, flying toilets, pits, or community latrines far from their homes. Without sewers, the latrines are emptied manually using buckets. 4 million tons of waste every year is then dumped into the waterways, causing tremendous environmental degradation and a massive public health risk. Solving the sanitation crisis requires more than just building toilets. We take an innovative systems-based approach to build out the entire sanitation value chain in 3 steps. First, we build a dense network of low-cost, high-quality Fresh Life toilets throughout the slums. Each toilet is owned and operated by a Fresh Life entrepreneur who runs the toilet as a viable business. We provide business and marketing support, and most importantly, a daily waste collection service. Second, our professionally trained and equipped team removes the waste and transports it to a centralized processing facility, where third, we convert the waste into valuable byproducts, including organic fertilizer and renewable energy. We've launched 275 Fresh Life toilets to a network of over 140 micro-entrepreneurs serving 11,000 people daily. Each entrepreneur makes 750 euros per toilet per year in profit. We're removing 25 tons of waste each week from the community, converting it into organic fertilizer, and then selling it to farms. We've created over 300 jobs in a community with 40% unemployment. Join us as we provide hygienic sanitation for everyone, forever.
I'm not allowed to make a presentation because I have a video, so please enjoy yourself.
When we are children, our parents tell us not to talk about shit. This is a really serious problem. What you don't talk about, you cannot improve. A lot of people call me Mr. Toilet. I'm really proud when I hear that because it gives an identity to the work that I do. 40% of the world population still do not have access to a simple toilet.
Shit is like fire. If you manage properly, the fire can cook your meal. If you don't manage it, it burns down your house. If you manage shit, it becomes a fertilizer. If you don't manage it, it kills you.
About 90% of all the surface water in India are contaminated by feces. 1.5 million children under 5 a year in the world die unnecessarily. You have to have clean water, you have to have safe sanitation. A rich man staying next to a slum. The flies doesn't know a poor man from a rich man. So the rich man is probably eating the shit of the poor man. You better help them get toilets or you will eat their shit. Think about it. We are hosting the World Toilet Summit. This has been an international event every year since 2001.
The people say, why should I use a toilet? It's fresh air outside. I can chit-chat with my friend while I'm squatting there. Our big breakthrough will happen when we look at the poor as if they are customer. When we have to sell them products that are very beautiful and sexy. Once this becomes object of desire, if you don't have, you are not keeping up with the Jonases.
We want toilets to become a status symbol for the poor so that they feel proud to own a toilet. Just like a Louis Vuitton handbag. Oh, really?
We are actually breaking the taboo on sanitation in the global news. World Toilet Day is 19 November every year. We have the big squad. we are protesting the plight of the 2.5 billion people that still do not have access to a toilet. The fact is, I think about toilet every moment. But life is only 80 years. I'm 52. If I'm going to spend 28 years consuming ostentatiously just to have a diamond watch that I can't read the time because it's too sparkling, it makes no sense. Doing social work that is creating some impact, I think it's better to die like that. I think we can see the day that everybody on planet Earth will have access to clean toilets any day, anytime.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Yi from IDE Cambodia. There we go, we are sparking revolutions today. So IDE is a market-based organization and we fight poverty with profit. We engage local entrepreneurs and the sustainable markets to solve the problem of poop. So in Cambodia, that was one of our flagship programs, and we really had an existing market, but it was quite inefficient. So our challenge was to really stimulate purchase priorities in households and also motivate local businesses to sell toilets. We worked with IDEO and US-based design consultancy to design an affordable, aspirational, accessible toilet using the human-centered design, so really going back to the users every stage of the process. In Cambodia, there are more cell phone owners than toilet owners. This is not a purchase priority. And also the government and NGOs try to give too much information. People cannot decide what they want. So paralysis by choice, paralysis by analysis. It was very difficult to purchase. As Jemima alluded to earlier, they needed to do their own research, then shop around at 5 different shops, organize their own transport. It was all quite a difficult process. And there were no options except for the $0 unaspirational dry pit and the $100 Taj Mahal. So people, rural households, could not afford toilets. Businesses also did not see the poor people as customers, as Jackson just talked about. So we wanted to change their mindset to really help them recognize the business opportunity. And through all of the research, we arrived at this framework. It's not about affordability the whole time. It's about aspiration. It's about accessibility. People have to want it and have to be able to get it. And then it needs to be affordable. So our design product was the Easy Latrine. Easy to buy, easy to build, easy to use, $35 US retail. And people can decide to buy in a day, install it themselves. We call it the IKEA model. And they can use it the same day they decide to buy. So it's home delivered, much more easy than it was before. And there was also a radical shift in the business model. They went from high margin, low volume, to low margin, high volume. And it's about economies of scale, as some of the other panelists were talking about. Today, we have currently 126 active businesses, and we're working with 2 MFI partners in Cambodia to provide financing for the households so they can pay for the toilet over a period of time. To date, we've had 100,000 latrines sold unsubsidized. People pay market price for this. Now what? We're replicating this model across 6 different countries using the HCD approach. So the market conditions are different in every country. So we go to the country, first of all, with the human-centered approach. What do customers want? What are businesses capable of? What do they want? We work with a consortium of partners, including the philanthropic to the private sector. American Standard is a partner in Bangladesh, and they're currently now working with BRAC. I was just speaking earlier with Barbara about that. And also the academics. Ultimately, diarrhea is not just a toilet problem. It's a hand washing problem. It's a clean water problem. So we're looking at how can we bundle the products and tap into our sales force with the ceramic water filters. How can we include shelters so that's more aspirational? Really hoping to eradicate the diarrheal diseases within the next 20 years. So I'm very honored to represent ID on behalf of the Sarphati Award, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much. Wonderful pitches, very specific, so very clear. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, among the total of 5 criteria, 2 criteria were exceptionally important and of high relevance. Firstly, the nominee should have an outstanding track record in the field of sanitation. And furthermore, the award must be able to increase the impact of the work of the nominee in the next future. Second criteria is related to the proven link with entrepreneurship, linking different partners from public and private sector in the quest to sustain the proposed sanitation intervention. I would like to invite each member of the jury to give us your feedback, an audience of a 1 minute feedback on one of the nominees in particular. I would like to ask Mrs. Ushi Ait, and could you give us a feedback on IDE?
Thank you. Let me first say that you have an award on sanitation is absolutely great, because it was one of our ideas in UNSGAP. We couldn't make it, but you did it, so congratulations. Let me say to ID, the people from Revolutionary found out that there was a supply chain for latrines in Cambodia, but it was weak and fragmented, and well-meaning subsidies have depressed demand for toilets. You created a sanitation market by removing purchase barriers and creating an aspirational latrine that turned an unsexy product into one that symbolizes a better life. This initiative by IDE in Cambodia has been successful in stimulating and strengthening sanitation markets in rural areas of a poor country by adopting sustainable business practices. And as you have shown in one of your pictures, you are scaling it up in other continents. So your concept, your hands-on, your success convinced the jury to choose you as a nominee. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And now I would like to ask Mr. Kulwant Singh to share with us your feedback on Synergy.
Thank you, Chairman. While all three works were found highly relevant in contributing to the worldwide sanitation challenge, so far as Synergy is concerned, in fact, in just a 2 years period, it has successfully built 242 sanitation facilities run by 130 local entrepreneurs from Nairobi's slums who earn $2,000 per year in income for their families while providing hygienic sanitation to more than 10,000 residents. In fact, as a social enterprise based in Nairobi, Kenya, Synergy is operating in Africa, the region which has a long way to go to achieve the universal access to sanitation. Synergy has a remarkable approach. It has an entrepreneurial focus which is totally in the spirit of Mr. Samuel Sarphati. In fact, the delivery model of Synergy is very innovative. It has been presented to you already and has combined technical ingenuity with an entrepreneurial business model having an entrepreneur-based approach. The organization has a dynamic team together with a strong network of micro-entrepreneurs which should ensure sustainability in delivery. The Synergy model is both replicable and scalable. So far, their track record is outstanding, and their strong points are mainly implementation on the ground, involvement of youth, and job creation. I think it is one of the most remarkable offers that are there to meet the challenge for future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Singh. And last but not least, Mr. Arno Roosmaren, what is your feedback on Jack Sim of the World Toilet Organization?
Okay, Jack. I've known Jack for many years. I think he's the reason why we're here, by the way. He's one of the reasons, anyway. He founded the World Toilet Organization, the other WTO, and that was back in 2001. He also started in Singapore, which is like a model for sanitation in many, many ways. And so the jury actually had no difficulty giving Jack a very high status as a nominee. A little bit more about why Jack actually deserves to be a nominee is that he was chosen the Schwab Foundation Social Entrepreneur of the Year at the WEF in Switzerland back in 2006. He was put on Time Magazine's cover as Hero of the Environment back in 2008. I would say he's a global citizen that really believes in self-help. That's very important. So if you see somebody sick on the street, you try to find out. You care about that person. And then before you know it, you're standing together. He has a great passion, and he raised the status of sanitation at both the national and international level. And I think it's a gift to the world that he has put the 19th of November as the UN World Toilet Day. So that's why he was nominated.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Roosmaren. Thank you all for your reflections. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the time has come to announce the winner. I invite the Mayor of Amsterdam, Mr. Eberhard van der Laan, also Honorable Chair of the Sarphati Sanitation Award, to announce the laureate, while Kenneth and Chef will bring forward the check. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you, dear friend. Let me take a bit of water. I think it's appropriate in this. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I see at least 7 Samuel Sarphatis, 4 of the jury, and the 3 wonderful nominees. A few words about this prize. Amsterdam is a third world city. As a doctor in the 19th century, Amsterdam, Samuel Sarphati saw the dreadful conditions in which the people in the poor neighborhoods lived. Amsterdam resembled, in some aspects, a third world city of today, with high mortality rates. According to Sarphati, proper sanitation was a crucial factor in improving both public health and the standard of living. And Sarphati was able to demonstrate that the collection of human waste could make money. To start with, he had to invest the then enormous sum of 200,000 guilders, about 100,000 euros, and he raised an additional 100,000 guilders by issuing bonds. But his endeavor succeeded in making profit. And partly due to his efforts, the city has been free from cholera since 1870. We have 4,000 kilometers of sewers. As I said, the health situation in many developing countries resembles that of Amsterdam in Sarphati's day. And every day, thousands of people die from diseases caused by a lack of clean water and proper sanitation. Many people in developing countries use less than 10 liters of water per day. And here in the Netherlands, we need 150 liters of water each day for drinking, showering, flushing the toilet and operating the washing machine. And during my mayorship I learned that it takes 6,000 liters to produce a jeans, which is a rather shocking figure. All of this water is discharged under the ground. The area covered by the water company for the Amsterdam region is served by a 4,000-kilometer sewer system which takes the wastewater to sewage pumping stations. Ladies and gentlemen, it was not so long ago that the wastewater from the city of Amsterdam was discharged directly into the city's canals until well into the 1980s. The fact that it is now clean was proven. It was proven in 2012 by Queen Maxima, who then was still a princess. She made world news by swimming 2 kilometers through the canals as part of a charity fundraising event. And I think this is decisive proof. Water is equally distributed. As you all know, because your expertise on the subject exceeds mine by far, from a global perspective, there is no shortage of water. I'm told the water crisis is all about power, poverty and inequality. And I've seen it myself in a BRIC country. I think it's fair not to name it because it goes for many countries. But we were driving with our Amsterdam acquisition delegation through a boulevard with the most beautiful campuses of the few of the world's biggest IT companies. But it stank. In the toilet there was shit. And that was because of an open sewage. And I could not understand how this BRIC, fast developing country, could tolerate to have open sewages that 150 years ago were solved here in Amsterdam. And I think it has to do with the lack of the combination of a strong private sector and an effective government. The Netherlands and Amsterdam have considerable knowledge on expertise on water. On these trade missions I mentioned, to India, China, Japan, Korea, whatever, WaterNet is a steady partner. And I like to mention and honor Gerard Rundberg and his team, always bringing knowledge highly appreciated by our host. Ladies and gentlemen, the Sarphati Sanitation Award has been developed to help achieve the Millennium Goals for sanitation. Sarphati thinking is clearly reflected in the new Dutch national policy, business with a social heart, investment, not aid. The award will, we all hope, generate an entrepreneurial idea that local firms in low-income countries will be able to bring into practice. Every city, every region in the world deserves its own Samuel Sarphati, and I'm very curious to have the envelope to pronounce who will be 2014 Samuel Sarphati. Thank you. And I think I should mention the winner is Synergy. Ladies and gentlemen, this is made by Marta Reuling, and I'm explaining to the winner and also to you, this is a very famous Dutch artist, a friend of the Queen actually, so there is a connection. Please may I present it to you. We're very glad for you. Thank you.
This? Okay. Yeah. I would like to call the other two nominees.